Oh, hey, didn't see you there. You caught me. Catching up on the Maryland General Assembly telephone directory. I'm Delegate Pat Young, representative for District 44B and chair of the Baltimore County delegation. We are halfway through the legislative session. And now, as you've already seen, we've talked about some of the changes in the Senate. And now we're going to talk about changes in the House. And you'll even see some changes here. As you'll notice, we're back to old Ironsides, old faithful, old reliable. The picture we had before, she wasn't built for a traveling fireplace, so she'd seen better days. But she's back now, with a fresh coat of paint. And, well, of course, as we love to hear from you all, your feedback and comments, well, much like any child during the pandemic over the last year, you have not coped well with change. So we don't have a lot of time, but we're going to be interviewing Delegate Sheree Sample-Hughes, Speaker Pro-Tem of the House, to talk a little bit about the safety measures that we put into place to keep everybody safe this year. Come on, follow me.
Well, hey, are you shooting a fireside chat?
Not now, Eric. I'm shooting a fireside chat.
That's what I said.
Welcome, Delegate. Thanks so much for joining us here at the chat.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a delight to be with you.
So tell me, what is it like being the Speaker of the Legislative Annex?
The Speaker of the Legislative Annex? No. There's only one Speaker, Speaker Jones. I'm not the Speaker of the Annex. I am the senior representative that is called to lead the House Annex. And so that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
One Speaker.
Okay, one Speaker. So as a member of the Annex, if I have an issue, then I should...
Come to me.
Oh, okay. I get it. And if, I have a question about procedure or process, then I could...
Come to me.
Okay. But you're not the Speaker?
No.
So obviously things are a little bit different this year with COVID precautions and trying to keep everybody safe. What are some changes that you can let everybody know about, at least for the House, and tell us a little bit about the House Chamber Annex?
Sure. So in order to ensure the safety and precautions of all while we're trying to navigate through this different type of session, the Annex was created so we could have half of our membership in place, safely in place, and make sure that we can still get our votes out and get our work done. With that being said, we had plexiglass around each member's desk. We have an iPad at each member's desk as well, so that iPad is their tool to be able to vote on the legislation. And what is unique about that is that, yes, we're separated, but we have two large screens in the Annex that allows us to see what is happening in the chamber. So the Speaker still directs everything from her platform in the chamber, and we in the Annex are able to see all of what is going on. Now, what is also unique with the setup that we have in place is that members go to a well. They go to sometimes called the phone booth. But
yeah, right behind us.
Right behind us, exactly. I could be Vanna White for you. But they go there to offer amendments, ask questions, or really just speak on a bill if they have a bill that they wanted to elaborate more on. So again, this is all for safety precautions to really ensure health-wise that we're doing our due diligence, that we're doing the best that we can do. We also have our technology team here in the room with us, because people are trying to navigate their laptops, their iPads, and just have, any troubleshooting that may need to occur, as well as we have additional troopers to remind our members that they must keep their mask on and make sure that people are keeping as distance as possible. So all those things really our members are having to adjust to. So far, so good. We're doing well. We've cut out some of the kinks that we found early on, making sure we had that communication back and forth. But things are moving forward.
Now, obviously, those are some physical changes that folks can see.
Yes.
Some of the, non-obvious things we've all been sort of dealing with collectively in our own professions and careers, but, some things that you've noticed in terms of outreach, communication with constituents, advocacy, that might be good for the folks at home to know how we're still connecting and how we're doing the people's business while we're down here.
Right. Thanks for that question, actually, because I think that early on, prior to us coming into session, members of the community were probably a little anxious about whether or not their voice would still be heard through this new format of not being able to come into the buildings and meet directly with their legislator, or physically be in the committee rooms to offer their testimony. But I must say that we have and still are doing our due diligence to ensure that their voice is heard. And what I mean by that is by way of still offering their written testimony, by getting it in the system, having it a part of each bill that they would like to have input on, also being on Zoom and making sure that their voice is heard by physically participating through the oral testimony. What I've also seen as a result of this is an increase in emails, where you're seeing people that you normally, maybe just do a face-to-face conversation. They're heavily on the emails, and I can attest to that because I can't keep up with all my emails. And so that's just, to me, is reassurance that, we have those lines of communications open and that the citizens are aware of them. And they're, even, traditionally making the phone calls and calling to say their issue or whatever the case may be. So they're getting through. They're getting to their members and having their voice heard, just as we, always wanted to do that. But we also still are making sure that our staff is safe by having, if there's multiple staff in an office, having them alternate days of coming in. So there's time for cleaning and disinfection and things of that nature. So this is very new to all of us. But I must say we have excellent staff here in the House of Delegates, and people are just doing the best that they can with what we had. And so all those precautions are new, but they're ones where the public is still being safe and our members are still being safe through it all.
So obviously you have a lot going on. Do you need any help?
No, I think I'm good. I have my staff and my family. They've been very helpful and grateful.
That's very important, sure. But, around here in the annex and your responsibilities, do you maybe need some extra assistance?
What do you have in mind, Delegate?
I don't know. I'm just thinking that, as the Speaker Pro-Tem of the House Chamber Annex, maybe I could serve as the co-Speaker Pro-Tem of the House Chamber Annex.
No.
Deputy Speaker Pro-Tem of the House Chamber Annex?
No.
Okay. Assistant to the Speaker Pro-Tem of the House Chamber Annex?
Sure.
Huh? Yes. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank Madam Speaker Pro-Tem Sheree Sample-Hughes for recording with us today and talking a little bit about the precautions that we've taken to make sure all the members of the House of Delegates in Maryland have been safe.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It's been fun.
Absolutely. So that pretty much wraps us up here for another one of Pat's Fireside Chats. We had intended to interview the comptroller, but unfortunately we completely ran out of time. So.
The comptroller was supposed to be here today?
No, it's a thing. Never mind. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. When the Speaker Pro-Tem of the House Chamber Annex asks you if you are interested in serving as the assistant to the Speaker Pro-Tem of the House Chamber Annex, there's only one appropriate response. Absolutely, I do.
I did not ask him, but if it makes him feel important, it's all great.
It's an important role, no doubt about that. Speaker Pro-Tem Sample-Hughes has enough to worry about. Then to also have to think about, is my workspace sanitized? Is my microphone working? Am I missing anything from my desk? It's about service and knowing that the work you've done has really made someone else's day easier.
I wouldn't use the word easier, but him dropping off my dry clean and returning it, it's been kind of nice.
Bills, briefs. That was what we like.